You've stopped into another episode of Dad Crossing where myself, Nick, and my co-host Sean will have real, honest chats about the highs and lows of dad life. We'll laugh together at the craziness of parenting and the silliness of our kiddos, and we'll support each other through the challenges and tough decisions of fatherhood. Whether you're a seasoned granddad or a dad-to-be, we promise laughs, relatable, and sometimes raw talk, and expert help to tackle the tough issues. Not from Sean and me, but from the amazing guests we'll have on the show. So let's be dads crossing through life together.
Sorry.
I'm sure glad you're ready because I got at least one of those. I'm ready. So that's the most exciting part about this whole conversation. All right. Welcome to Everyday Life with the Dad Crossing crew, which is really just Sean and me, but you know, it's a whole crew. It's a crew of two.
And Rex.
It's a two crew. And Rex. Yeah, Rex. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Squeaky Rex.
Yeah.
There you go.
Squeaky Rex.
All right. Here's the thing, Sean. Did not tell you this, but I have decided that I will find fun little questions to intro all the stuff. So I did a Would You Rather. That's what I got for you here.
Uh-oh.
Would you rather have your kids sleep in every morning until 9 a.m., but never go to bed before 11 p.m., or have them fall asleep like angels at 7:30 p.m. sharp, but always wake up at 5 a.m.? What would you rather, Sean? Making you really think.
Neither of those. They're both bad. If you'd have said like 6 a.m., that'd have been more tolerable. But I don't know. They're at that stage. They're at that age now where if they went to bed at 11 and
no. You gotta
9
imagine like you're about to have a newborn baby. Think of it that way.
Yeah. 7:30 till 5.
Okay.
Easy, because the smallest child down is going to wake up in the night, go to bed at the same time, wake up for it, up at 5, and staggered sleep-ins. So I get up one day, Lindsay gets up another day, and vice versa.
Sure. I too would like 7:30, just because that's the most time. That's the time where I can spend most with Beck. And now that they don't go to bed, we really just need to start instituting the fact that we just kick them out to their rooms so that we actually get more time. But now, because now they really don't go to bed. I don't know. They seem A-okay to not go to bed until like 9:30, 10 on school nights even. Like it doesn't really seem to affect them. They get up, they're fine, they're cheery, they do their thing. So, but I'm like, well, crap. Now, like by the time 10 rolls around and they go to bed, we're like, I'm ready to go to bed. Like we didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I'm
going to say, Emily, it's different for me because we've got the 7-year age gap between Logan and Emily when Emily's here. But like Logan is anywhere between 8.5 past and Emily is between 9.5 past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that is just to keep hold of some sanity in terms of like, because we get up at like 6 a.m. to walk the dog anyway, who is now going crazy. So and we need, like, Lindsay needs her sleep. Me not so much. I can kind of go bobble along for a few days with very broken sleep. But yeah.
Well, there you go. That's my would you rather for the day. So
fair enough.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, well, I'll see what I can make up for the rest of them. So yesterday, Sean, was my 15th wedding anniversary.
Woo!
It was fun. We didn't do like a ton of stuff, but we went to, because we just didn't have a ton of time. But we went to this like club and played Bunco. Have you ever played Bunco before?
I have not played Bunco. What is Bunco?
Yeah, I had never played it either. Had never heard of it. Nothing. So there's like 4 players around a table, a set of 3 dice. Now, it looks like we played it differently because I tried to buy Bunco dice from Amazon, and they looked very different than the ones I had. The ones we had were like regular dice with painted green and red on different sides. The idea is that you roll the dice and you get like a score. If you roll at least one pink, you get 1 point. 2, you get 5, and if you roll all 3 pink, then you get a big bunco and you automatically win. And you have a partner on the table. Usually it's like across the table as your original partner. And basically, if you don't roll any of that pink color, then you pass the dice along. The first team to get 21 wins. It's a bunco. And you're playing kind of with, well, at least we did because we had more people. We were playing with 3 tables. And so anybody on one of the 3 tables that got to 21 got a bunco, and then that was the end of the round, and whoever had the most points at the other tables also then won their rounds. So it was fun. It was a good time. Like, it was one of those things I was like, we were gonna go somewhere and just go out to eat, and Becca was like, oh, let's try something a little different. And so I'm glad we did. We had a really good time. So
Yep.
Nothing amazing for our 15th anniversary.
Yeah. No gifts?
Actually, yes, that's a great point. We do have gifts. So we did like a collective gift in the sense that Becca has not had her wedding ring for like 2 years. The center diamond just fell out. So it was a real bummer, and we just didn't do anything. My ring has had 2 of the small diamonds on the sides fall out, and I've just kind of been dealing with it. So we decided to go and get our rings fixed. So that was our 15th anniversary present.
Ah, that's a good sentimental one. I like that, and it's quite fitting as well because 15th is in like traditional sense is crystals.
Yeah, I did not know that.
And the modern theme is watches. So it's jewelry and some kind of precious stone. So
yeah. So that's what we did. We don't have them yet. They're still in the being fixed.
Next year is silverware for you, by the way.
Wow, Becca would shoot me if I gave her silverware. She would be. It'd probably be the last year we're married. If I was like, "Here's some silverware for you," she'd be like, "Why?"
I don't know. Like,
why?
She likes to collect things. I'm sure. Like, you could get some cat themed collectible silverware. No,
I mean,
I don't know.
She'd think it was cute, but
you could just look. I'm being traditional, Beck. It's I'm being. No, I know the same. If I turned up with knives and forks for Lindsay, she'd use them to stab me. So
yeah, no, that'd be that'd be no bueno over here. So.
Like, have you seen those knife holders that are like what look like a plastic man, outline of a plastic man, and like you can push the knives through them?
I have not seen this, but I love the idea. I can envision
that's what I'd look like.
So I got you some silverware, honey. I mean, especially if it was real silver. Like if it was like a real silverware set that cost like thousands of dollars, yeah, she'd be like, she would kill me with it. She'd be like, I only have one good use for this silverware set that you spent our like life savings on, and it's to stab you with. I can recoup your money.
Claim on the insurance. Have you got a receipt?
Exactly.
I don't think she could claim on the life insurance if she used the one that. But anyway, anywho,
you're getting dark, but you're probably right.
Yeah.
She'd be like, you have to sign this waiver that says my wife did not kill me. I accidentally fell on 14 of the 16 silverware that I just bought her. Signed, loving husband, Nick Metzger. I'd be like, that probably wouldn't work, but that would be the idea.
Yeah.
So. Anyways, out of the dark side of things, back to the light side of the moon. So what have you been doing this week,
Pink
Sean?
Floyd reference. Let's see. What did I do Monday? I've been to the gym a lot this week. And when I say I've been to the gym a lot, I was going after the school run, and then which is like 10 to 9, and not leaving until lunchtime, which is like 12.
I'm sorry, are you working out all those hours?
Yes.
What you trying to do? Be like your own Superman?
No, let me think about this. Monday, I went and did what did I do Monday? I think I met Joe, and we did a heavy set together, and then he left as I was doing the 100 sit-ups, the video that I sent you for the 100 sit-ups. And as I was about to leave, I saw one of the personal trainers that works in there setting up for a class, and I quite like his classes. And I kind of went, I said to him, "Have you got?" Hoping he'd say, "Oh no, I haven't got any spaces spare." I was like, "Have you got any spaces spare for your class?" And he was like, "Yeah, I've got 6 spare." I was like, "Uh, okay, I'll take part." Turned out to be a very very good class and enjoyed it. Um, and then Tuesday, I signed up for one of the other trainers' classes in the morning, which starts at like 9:15 after the school run. So I went and kind of stretched and warmed up to break all the agony from the day before. I did that class, and then I got myself on the walking, like on the treadmill, just on an incline, and walked for like 45 minutes on an incline while playing Marvel Snap, waiting for Joe to come. Because then Joe was coming at like, he met me at 11, and we did another heavy set to finish there. So that was Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, I ate a lot of cereal. I
To
I
make
don't know
up
if you've
for
ever
all the
done this.
workouts.
Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much. I spied in, we have a place called the Food Warehouse, which is like a big freezer style store from all kinds of different companies. So like there's TGI Fridays is in there, My Protein have all their meals and stuff like that and bits and pieces. And when I was in there the other day, I spied that they had Kellogg's Fruit Loops, and I haven't had Kellogg's Fruit Loops since I was last in Orlando as a kid. So I was like super excited. So I went in and I bought like the box, got home. I bought some more milk as well because, you know, I had a vision of eating it all in one go. So I got back. I used Pyrex mixing bowl, poured the entire box into the Pyrex mixing bowl, 2 pints of milk, and then sat and kind of watched videos, ate a full Pyrex bowl of cereal to myself,
Is this
and
a
then went to bed.
normal box of cereal? Like,
Yes, a 375-gram box of cereal works out at 1,400 calories with the milk. Yeah,
that's
it was the only thing I ate that day.
okay. All right. Well, I guess you were under calories then. With 1,400 calories, you were under calories. You just sat there. That's like a breakup story. It's like, well, I lost my girlfriend broke up with me, so I dumped the whole box of cereal in a Pyrex bowl with the rest of the
No,
milk and cried
I
into
used
it
to do
as
it
I
as
ate it.
I used to do it as a kid when I had 3 different paper rounds as a kid. Um, I had 2 in the morning and 1 in an evening. One of them, one of them was at a paper shop, so like I had to go to the newsagents to pick up the papers. The other one, they used to drop them off at the house, and it was kind of like the route for that was on the way to the newsagents to pick up the other papers to deliver those to then come home and then go to school. And then when I got home from school, there was more papers on my front doorstep, so I had to go and do another loop. There was only 15 papers on the evening one, which wasn't too bad. Um, and I used to do that. So I used to get £9 for each round a week, which like at 13 to 16 was a pretty good, like 18. That was only £27 a week just for delivering newspapers, which wasn't too bad. But from the newsagents, I used to like on a Saturday when they gave me my little envelope of coins, I used to buy an entire box of Wheatos, Kellogg's Wheatos, and I
Okay.
would go home, and that was my Saturday morning thing. I'd have been paid. I I had to get up at 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning, like so my parents and my brother were never up, so I would like get home, and we were in the it was the like in the era of the start of MTV. So I would get home, Pyrex dish, sit down, MTV, and kind of like watch all the pop punk bands and stuff like that I liked while I was eating this giant bowl of cereal.
So you were just living your best kid's life, is what you were just reliving like your best kid life memories. Okay, well, I can
Yeah,
appreciate that.
I
I
just
love that it was the Pyrex bowl then and now. So yeah, I feel like we really
yeah,
connected it there.
but, but I have paid the price because there's a lot of crunchy cereal for a mouth that's not used to a lot of crunchy cereal. It has hurt literally for the last 24 hours. It has hurt to eat and drink. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I imagine I can see that. So
But at the time, it was fantastic. I felt like absolute crap on my night shift on Wednesday
I
night.
bet.
Like I got to work and I felt really bloated and like really sluggish. And it was like when I got home Thursday morning from it, I was like drowned myself in water and
Mm-hmm.
hoped and prayed that when I woke up, I'd have flushed everything out. But I slept Thursday, like slept like an absolute log. I got in from work, took Logan to school, got home, got into bed at 20 past 9, and I didn't wake up till 6 p.m. Like I literally got into bed and died for a few hours. And like
Yeah.
usually I'll wake up at like 1 p.m. to like maybe go to the toilet or because I'm out of your usual circadian rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I woke up, looked at the time, I was like, oh crap, it's 6 p.m. And then like looked at the front doorbell camera to see if Lindsay's car was on the drive, and it wasn't. I was like, oh crap, where's Lindsay?
Okay, so I have a couple questions. One, do you guys have newspaper boys now? Like that do newspaper routes?
No, not really. I don't really know many people nowadays that still buy a newspaper. So
We still have newspapers, but we just, I mean, not near like we used to, but we still do have some newspapers, but we don't have like newspaper boys anymore. They now just send
yeah,
it through our like postal service. So
yeah. I mean, most people get the news either through Facebook, social media sites. Sky News is constantly live 24/7, same as BBC over here. It's like CNN and all that in for you across the pond.
mhm.
Um, and then you can subscribe to New York Times, the Telegraph, the Mail. And then you get them straight to your phone. So I think the print media is dying as people, which is sad because
It is, yeah.
yeah, I can remember when I was an apprentice. It was something we did every lunchtime, every break time. Two guys, two electricians, Andy Stessel and David Parker, two like older senior electricians. Awesome pair of guys, absolutely hilarious. But they used to bring the mail in the Daily Mail every day, and they do the crossword, and it kind of like I got drawn into kind of doing the crossword for them, and how I really enjoy doing crosswords. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I hear that. Let's see what else happened on my side of that. Oh, Noah got a bug bite, which sounds like okay. Well,
oh
this is lame. Why are we talking about it? But something bit him on the ear, and it like puffed up, pretty good size. No idea what it is. Um, and so this was Saturday that we noticed it, and I was like, oh, well, we'll just give you some Benadryl and some like cream stuff. Like it'll go down. Never went down. Like yesterday, I finally took him to the doctor because it was the same size. It wasn't any worse than it was on Saturday, but it wasn't any better either. So I was like, oh, that's weird.
yeah,
So I took him to the doctor.
is it prednisone that they shoot for inflamed bites?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't remember.
No. You're spot on, my man. So like I got there and they were like, yeah, it's bug bite, and I was like, wait, I've kind of figured that much, but okay. Well, like, what do we do? And they're like, well, and so they gave us a little antibiotic too because she was like, it could be infected. She didn't think it was, but she was like, on the off chance, she was like, I'm gonna give you an antibiotic. So Noah, I think he regrets this now, but she was like, do you want the shot or the pills? Now, to be fair, she said pills, but he chose the pills, but he didn't get pills. He got liquid, which now I think he wishes he would have just taken the shot. Be good. And he's totally cool with like swallowing pills. Like he has no problem with that. So I think he's a little bummed about that. But today it looked a little bit better. Still swollen, but not quite as much. So we'll see how life we'll see how it continues to go. But it was just a little weird that it was like I don't think I've ever had that with them before, where they get like a bite and it just stays like swollen. But so yeah, that happened. And then one other thing, do you, Sean,
Hello.
do you pay for your kids to have hot lunches? Do your kids have hot lunches? I guess might be the first question. I don't know.
No, Logan is very, very fussy with foods and textures at the moment. Um, we've got a few things
Okay.
going on with Logan, and with you, uh, we have him diagnosed with dyslexia at the moment, and we're rooting for an ADHD assessment at the moment because we think the two are linked very closely. But his palate with foods is very difficult at the moment. So no, we don't. We send him his pat lunch is literally a dry bagel because he doesn't like butter on it. But hates cheese with a passion. Struggles with any kind of sliced deli meats because of the slimy and
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
I can
So he
understand
has
that.
that. Doesn't like fruit in terms of like if I put a banana in and it goes slight funny color, refuses to eat it kind of thing. So he has these like little jelly fruit sweets that we found that he gets on with. And then crisps and some kind of cake bar kind of thing. And that's pretty much his lunch. It sounds awful, but he's so happy with that. So
Hey, if he likes it, all the better, I guess. So let
mm,
me phrase it. Could you buy hot lunch if you wanted to at your school?
yes,
Okay. Would you buy it or would it be free?
they're free until a certain age, and I think it's when they enter key stage 1. So Logan's just left key stage 1 this year and gone into key stage 2. So up until about
And
6-7 years old, I think they're free.
okay. So really like first or second grade for us is what that would
Yeah.
likely be. Well, would it be? Yeah, be right around second grade is what the end of key stage 1 would be for you. Okay. Well, here in America, we used to pay for lunches, no matter your age. Everybody paid, no big deal, whatever. And then I think it was COVID when it became free. Maybe before COVID. Like,
hey, COVID.
yeah. Now there was like tiers, right? Like you could get free lunch. You filled out a little form, your parents did, with your income, and it was income based, basically. If you got such an income, you got free lunches. Otherwise, you paid for lunches. So, and then everybody got free lunches, which was great. And now we're not sure that we're getting free lunches anymore. But actually, I guess we just got word that we are. It was this very great, very, very much American government thing where it was like, listen, we don't know if it's going to happen. It's probably going to happen. No, now we still don't know if it's going to happen. Yeah, you get free. Well, okay, now we got to wait till the 8th. We don't really know. And so apparently we just got word today that everybody, and this might be a state thing. I think this is a state thing, not a federal thing, so I'm not 100% sure about that, to be honest, but I don't know if it's a federal thing or a Michigan thing, but we just got word that our kids get free lunches, which is great. I think it's a good use for funding, to be honest. So yeah. So that happened. There was that like back and forth today.
Yeah. Fair enough. Your government are doing some crazy stuff at the moment. I know we don't want to talk
We're
politics
perfect.
on here,
Our government's perfect,
but
Sean. We don't do anything wrong.
but I was like, I think I looked up at work. I was eating my dinner. We usually have Sky News on, and I looked up and I was like, what does it mean that the government has shut down? Has the purge started? What's going on here? Do I need to worry?
Listen, John, our government is perfect. There's no better government than our government. We're the best government in the world. You couldn't have a better government than our government. That's all I'm saying.
But let's see, if we're talking government, we've for the first time ever in history, I believe, um, the Church of England have appointed a female Archbishop of Canterbury. She's the 106th, so you know, it's the term. It's the first time in the history.
And what does she do? What does the Archbishop do?
Good question. It's a senior. I'm reading this from Wikipedia.
Fair enough.
Because I have no idea. There's so many different names for people. The Archbishop of Canterbury is a senior bishop and a principal leader of the Church of England, the ceremonial head of worldwide Anglican
Anglio?
Communion.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So
I mean, that's
basically,
cool. Good
like
on you guys for
the head of the Church of England.
progressing.
Mm,
Way to go.
yeah.
I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say what I almost said. I want to filter that out
It took
because
100 and,
we
it took
lose half of it.
106 times. But
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
you're doing better than we are, so good on you.
But yeah. Anyway, I know we schools and Canterbury's and so on. So looking back to a school thing, I had to take Logan for an asthma assessment today because he hasn't had one for a while. His cough kind of got worse. I started giving him his inhaler as a precaution. School kind of said, "Oh, we need some of the medication as well," but we can see from Logan's records that he hasn't had a review for a while. So book a review, see if he actually needs it, and then if so, bring medication in for us. So I was looking for his asthma thing today. But school, and I've had this before with schools. Like I dropped him off at school. He walked in. I'm not allowed to now walk him through the gate. This is like I have lost that privilege apparently. He's too cool for it. Gives me a high five, says "See you later, sucker," and walks into school. Um, so like I had to wait for him to go into his classroom before I could go through the gate to go to the reception. Just to kind of say to the receptionist, "Can you make a note in the diary that I'll be coming to pick Logan up at 2:45 because he has a doctor's appointment at 3." Means he had to leave school like 20 minutes early, but yeah. Um, and she was like, "Oh yeah, that's fine. Have you got proof of the appointment?" And I was like, "Well, no, because Mum made the appointment, and like she just has all the texts on her phone, so no." She's like, "Oh well, just make sure you bring some kind of proof that it's what you're doing when you come to pick him up." And I was like, okay." And so as I was walking out, I was talking to Joe's wife, and she was like, "Ah, well, I didn't have to do that." She's like, "I literally just messaged the school and said, I need to take one of the boys out because they have an appointment. I'll be bringing them back." And school was just like, "Yeah, okay." So I like kind of stood there talking to her, and I was like, "This, I wonder if it's just a dad thing, like, is
Did
it?"
you ask?
And I didn't ask. I was kind of
Oh,
stunned. I was also I'd just finished a night shift, so I
sure,
was
that's fair.
like not really, my usual sharp self. So I was kind of like quizzing it a bit, but I just thought that was really,
Yeah.
in a world of equality, it was very inappropriate. So
I mean, there's a couple things there. I mean, I'm okay. I feel like this has been America compared to UK thing. I'm an American. If I think if anybody told any parent in America, listen, you have to tell us why you want to take your kid out, they'd be like, I don't have to tell you anything. If I want to take my kid out, I take my kid
yeah,
out. You just shut up. I mean, I just don't. Yeah, no, that would be crazy. Like I just took Noah out. I took him to the doctor. I picked him up at 9 o'clock. I actually changed the time right in the mid because I set an appointment for him at 9:30, and then as I was driving, the doctor called me back, and they were like, "Hey, we just realized we're sorry. The person we set you up with isn't credentialed to see people under the age of 13, so we had to shift you to somebody else. So it's now 10:30." So I just picked up. I don't know. Yeah, that's like, unless you have a track record of truancy, or I don't know,
yeah.
like
No, he's
you're not on the on the file as mom, dad, or supervised adult, then that's the
well,
only
well.
time I think you get to ask that question. I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut
This
you.
is the bit that's really this is the bit that's really crazy for me is that I do 75% of the school runs. It's me. I am the face that they usually see. So I was like, I was stunned, and I was I walked away thinking about it, and I was like, is that because I am a dad? Would a mum be questioned the same? And I said to Joe's wife, I was like, what you need to do is next time you have an appointment, is get Joe to dot it out and see if they do the same. Because I wanted if that's the same, then I would probably raise that with the school governors in terms of, if mum and if we're not me and Lindsay are separated parents. I mean, I had it when Emily was at school, and I had to take Emily to her appointments and stuff because we were co-parenting, and me and Emily's mum. So I would I'd go to pick them up, and they were like, "Oh, do you have mum's approval for this?" And I was like, "Well, she's the one that set the appointment, but yes." And so, well, we're just gonna have to call her just to make sure. So I get that because we were separated parents, but like you said, we're both listed. It was just, yeah, it was bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess yeah. My big struggle would be like, what if I'm not taking him? I mean, you said you're taking him to doctors, so you would hope at that point that's what you were doing. But still, like, I don't know. I just have the right to take. I mean, as long as it's not like a continual thing. But like, if there's something going on that I want my kid to go see, then the parent, I can take him out to go see whatever
Oh no, we're fined over here if they miss a certain percentage of like so many days in 1 week, we can be fined,
in
and
one
it's
week.
like up to 1,000. Yeah, up to 1,000.
Oh, $1,000! Holy crap! Yeah, see, that's not like over here. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what can happen to you if you miss a bunch. I know you can get a CPS call. I know that's a possibility. For like, neglect or whatever, something like that. Child Protective Services, just in case that's not an acronym over there. But finding, I've never heard of. I'll ask Becca if that's something that is they do, but I have particularly not heard of that, and especially not in a week.
Yeah.
I'm like, especially not
Well,
in a week. It would be like
it's to
over the
try and
lifespan of the school year. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, it's to try and deter people from taking kids out on holidays in term time
Sure.
because I don't know if this is a thing in America, but if you go to book a holiday in the UK to go somewhere, if it's in term time, the price can be like threefold easy. So like a
Sure.
£1,200 holiday while the kids are all at school suddenly becomes a £3,600 holiday when the kids are out of school. And it's like I'm going on the same flight to the same place to the
Mm-hmm.
same hotel with the same people. Just there's a week's difference in it. Why is it so much more expensive? So a lot of people um, do that. They'll take the
Mm-hmm.
kids. We have to submit written permission to ask, but some people don't. They just kind of ring up on the day before they're going on holiday. Yeah, my kid's sick. Because they can't do that. But if they can prove that you've been out of the country, so
Mm-hmm.
you take the kid on holiday, they come back and they're a completely different color because they've spent 2 weeks in the sunshine. It kind of stands out a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. So we are guilty of that when we went on cruise with the kids 2 years ago, I think at this point. Yeah, we took them out 3 days early from the end of the year because exactly like what you're saying. Because if we squeaked it into that like end of May, beginning of June time, it was half of what it was going to be if it was like solidly in June. So we were like, yeah, we're gonna take the one that's much cheaper and do that. So yeah, So I know what you're saying. That's the same over here too. And so sorry, I just got a text.
This happens with parenting related.
And so yeah, but I guess I just struggle with like why like I don't know. I just feel like you should have and this might be the American in me. Like my kid. Like I'm going to see a thing. I'm doing a thing. I'm fine. Like I don't know.
See, we wouldn't do it. We wouldn't do it around pivotal points. So next year, Emily starts her GCSEs, which is like the qualification that she needs to make sure she gets into a college that she wants to go into, sort of thing. So we wouldn't ever take her out of school within those few years because she needs to be there as much as possible to get the word done, to get the best grades. And it'd be the same for Logan in like 2 years' time when it comes to his SATs. We wouldn't take him out around them because it's detrimental for him to be there and not miss anything. But like that's just common sense.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that when you try and tar everybody with the same brush of common sense, that you're going to get people that have no common sense.
Yeah.
And
yeah. That's the problem with policy, right?
Yeah. So, well, yeah, you just struggle. which isn't nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I can appreciate what they're trying to do, and I know that, I mean, just listening to Becca, do we, like I say, I do feel like we should have the right to take our kids out as long as it's not. Do we do that? No, we don't. Like that 2 years ago for taking them out 2 days early, which they missed absolutely nothing because those 2 days were poop days anyways. One was the like end of the year field day where they just basically goofed around, and the other one was basically like clean out your locker and tidy up the school day basically. So they didn't miss anything. So like we don't like make that a thing, but yeah, I can see what they're trying to do, and I can see how it sometimes doesn't work out. And I think you did a good job, because I would have been pretty offended to be like, why do I have to tell you? Just
Well,
I'm
I mean,
taking
when I
them
turned
out.
up to pick him up, I literally had Lindsay screenshot the text message, and so I just had a picture of our text message that said NHS no reply, and then like the time and day on it. Didn't have like, I'm just gonna look at it now. I don't think it had Logan's name in it or anything.
You should have just walked up with.
No,
You both should have just like walked up with Slurpees. Yeah, the doc was good.
I didn't even have to take him
He
back.
like has like
that was
he
the
has
other
like a
thing.
teddy that he won at like an arcade or something like that. He's like, the doctor
Yeah.
was great.
But like, I didn't have to take him back because his appointment was at 3:00,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
finish at 3:20. But he was good because I forgot to tell him this morning. So like he came out and I was like, oh, why didn't you tell me this morning? So I'm missing my my rock stars stuff, which is like he's practicing in a band, so like he's
Oh.
been learning guitar and stuff, and he's just like started doing the vocals, and he was like, I was really looking forward to it, and I'm like, I am so sorry.
All right. Let me see. Is there anything else? Real quick, because we're almost into the 40-minute mark. So real quick, the only other thing I have is it was a great week in games for me. I got updates
Oh yeah.
to two of my favorite games currently, Grounded 2 and Minecraft. So my life was great. I've not seen Axel the Tarantula yet, and when I do, I'll probably call on you for help. And
I saw the Twitter post, by the way. I just never responded.
oh,
Sorry.
you're fine. And so yeah, because he looks really big. He looks fun. He looks cute, but I don't think he's probably as cute as he looks. And so there was a big update to that. And then there was an update to Minecraft, which I absolutely love. This copper update is amazing. It adds so much stuff that I want. You make these little guys, these little copper dudes, and they sort crap into your chest, so I don't have to sort it anymore. Fantastic. Absolutely love this.
That is a quality of life.
Yeah.
That I might actually go into Minecraft just because of it.
Yeah, it is fantastic, and the dude does a great job. There are some kinks that need to be worked out. There are a few things that I think they need to do, like have him climb ladders. Noah got his stuck down in the basement because he kept falling down all the ladders. But there are some things. But other than that, like it's working fairly well. And then there's copper swords, pickaxes, armor. It's a great in between step between stone and iron. Because it was either like, well, I have crappy stone or I have iron, which I really need to spend on like 20 other things that are more important. So I guess I'm just going to sit down here with stone tools, because that's really all I can afford. I can't afford to use my iron on that. So copper sits in this great middle spot. Not as good as iron, much better than stone. So absolutely love it. So I'm a big fan of those updates.
I have been absolutely hammering Marvel Snap. They currently have a high voltage event going on, which is 3 turns, loads of energy. So you're like using different cards than I would normally use. Acecraft, still playing that, which is like the vertical scrolling Cuphead-esque in terms of artwork game, and a little bit of Skate. I've been dibbling into that. I've now maxed out every area, which I was trying to do last week. So I've now maxed out every area. I'm kind of waiting for the Season 1 update, which comes on the 7th of October. They're going to they're doing the whole Battle Pass thing, but they're calling it Skate Pass. So they're going to bring that out, and you can unlock stuff and kind of level up like you would do a Battle Pass in Fortnite and things like that. So.
Real quick on Skate, I was listening to IGN's Game Scoop, and they say that people are not loving it. I mean, you are not the people, but they're saying that it's kind of like people aren't giving it great. In fact, I guess IGN gave it a 4.
Yeah, it's difficult because a lot of people when Skate came out, the original one, it blew the skate sim games completely out of the water. It made Tony Hawk's look like an arcade game, which it is in hindsight to it.
Sure.
And then Skate 2 came out and they added some functionality in Skate 2, which was really good. You could climb little things. There was like late tricks and stuff like that they added more bits and pieces. And then in Skate 3, we've kind of lived with that for over a decade, and they've added bits and bits and bits and bits to it. So like you can do dark slides, kickflip, underflips. There's tricks missing in the new Skate that was in Skate 3. But they've labeled it as an early access, which is exactly the same as game preview. And I think that there's a lot to build. They revolutionized the flick it control system, which is like how you do the tricks with like by flicking the analog sticks and stuff like that. So to get that to work with the parkour aspects, the fact that it's always online and it's such a vast map, they're trying to handle it well. They wanted to push out a game that had lots to do while they got their ducks in a row for the seasons that they're going to do in the events. And they didn't want it to be completely failing all the time and crashing because, they were struggling. They've already updated the servers for it because people were getting like 45-minute wait times to get into servers and stuff like that. So they have done that. I think the longest I've seen now in the last couple of days is like 12 minutes, which isn't too bad. It's still bad that we're having to wait to get into a game. So I'm kind of hoping further on down the line they'll bring an offline mode where you can just free skate yourself. You don't have to worry about seeing everybody around because if you don't have internet, you can't play this game at the moment. That's it. It kind of rules out. But it's a free to play game. You don't have to pay for anything. It's free to play. You can download it, give it a go. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Just kind of remember that we were blessed with Skate 3. Skate 3 was huge for ages, and that there's so much potential with what they could do in this. They've left the map with lots of directions that they can go in, bridges. They like written stories into it where like this giant octopus attacked the bridge and destroyed it, and when they're going to fix it so we can get around a bit more. The events that it looks like they're bringing from October 7th looks really cool. They're adding like loads of weird ramps and just making it more chaotic. So they're constantly building onto the city. So, and then the other complaint that people have is that all the characters are very Fortnite, and they're very basic in terms of avatars that you can create, but they are adding more and more stuff. So they have given a roadmap for the next 3 seasons.
Okay.
So,
all right, well, cool. I was just shocked when I was listening to him. I was like, wait, Sean loves this game. What are you people talking about? You're dumb.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to.
Yeah, there's loads of glitches in it. But there was glitches in Skate 3 for like speed glitches and high jump glitches and stuff like that, which people are exploiting. But if you want to go in, there's a guy I watch on TikTok, and he kind of finds places to skate in the game that you would just skate past, and he kind of skates them in a most realistic way. And like I've watched a couple of the videos, and I've gone to those spots, and I've had more fun doing the realistic side of stuff like he has been than I have doing like the big crazy jumps from building to building. So
all right. Well,
yeah.
I think that's an everyday life.
That is. So speaking of a technological gap. Wow, that was really difficult to say. Our Dad Life episode this week, which will be dropping on Wednesday, is all about the technological gap and trying to explain to our children that we didn't have an iPod or an iPad that fitted us in our pockets, that we had to carry around very carefully our CD Walkmans so they didn't kind of skip and jump and stuff like that. And old Mario,
the best Mario.
Yeah, the best Mario. So join us on Wednesday for that, and until then, enjoy your week, and we shall see you soon.
See you later, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to Dad Crossing. We're here to remind you that this podcast is made by dads for dads. It's a place where all of us can come together, share a laugh, and tackle the wild ride that is fatherhood. If you want to keep the conversation going or just need a safe space to chat or ask for help, you are always welcome to reach out. You can find me, Sean, at Sean_Abbott, and you can find my good friend Nick at Nick10Do. And of course, give our social media platforms a good look over, because that is where we share all the updates, all the laughs, and all the things dad life. That is, everything is at dadcrossing. For anything more, feel free to drop us a message at team@dadcrossing.com. And until next time, stay strong, stay connected, and remember, you're never alone on this journey. We'll see you in the next episode of Dad Crossing.